Imagine coming home after a long week, only to find your neighbor's car sitting in your driveway, again. You've asked him to stop. He doesn't care, but this time I didn't let it slide. I parked behind him, locked my car, and left town for 3 days. And oh, the text I got absolutely glorious. If you've ever been disrespected over and over again and dreamed of serving sweet, silent revenge, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up. Because this one ends with a man stewing in his own arrogance all weekend long. Let me start by saying this. I'm a pretty patient person. I don't go looking for fights with neighbors. I don't leave passive-aggressive notes on windshields. I don't complain about noise or lawn height or barking dogs. I'm chill. All I ask is for basic respect. But apparently, my neighbor Gary never got the memo. Gary moved in about 9 months ago, mid-40s, slicked back hair, always in a rush. He seemed harmless enough at first, a little cocky, sure, but whatever. We said hi when we passed each other. Neighborly stuff, but then the parking started. Now, I live in a small suburb and my driveway only fits one car, just one. And I use it religiously. My car's my lifeline to work, to errands, to peace. And for whatever reason, Gary decided my driveway was his personal loading zone. At first, it was just once I came home, saw his car there, and figured it was a fluke. Maybe he had visitors, no big deal. But then it happened again and again and again. Each time, I'd knock on his door, politely, and he'd give me this half-laugh, half-scoff combo, shrug, and say, "Oh man, sorry, just for a sec, just for a sec." Those words started echoing in my brain like a bad pop song. One time, I waited 30 minutes. Another time, I had to park down the street and carry my groceries in the rain, while his shiny black SUV sat dry and cozy in my driveway like it paid rent. So finally, I confronted him, for real. "Look, man, I need you to stop parking in my driveway. It's not just for a sec, I live here. I pay for that space, please respect that." He smirked, like I was a little kid scolding the class clown. "Relax, dude, it's not the end of the world." No apology, no promise to stop, just that same dismissive wave of his hand, like I was some mosquito buzzing too close. And I'll admit, that got to me. Because it's not just the parking, it's the principle. The sheer audacity of someone thinking they can use your space, your property, whenever they feel like it, and then act like you're the unreasonable one for not liking it? That's not just rude, that's disrespect. Weeks went by, I started documenting every time he did it, photos, timestamps. I considered calling the city, but in my area, property line disputes like this go nowhere fast, and frankly, I didn't want to escalate it that way. I just wanted Gary to stop, and then came the perfect opportunity. It was Friday afternoon. I'd taken a half day from work because I was heading out of town for a weekend hiking trip with friends. My backpack was packed, car gassed up, mood sky high. I turned onto my street, dreaming about crisp mountain air and no cell service, only to find, once again, Gary's SUV in my driveway. At first, I just laughed. I laughed that kind of sharp, cold laugh that bubbles up when you've been holding back way too long. And then I had a thought. A delicious, wicked little thought. You see, I was leaving. And I wasn't coming back until Monday. And if his car was in my driveway, well then, maybe my car needed to be right behind his. I pulled in slowly, eased my car up to within inches of his rear bumper, turned off the engine, locked the doors, grabbed my bag, and walked away. I didn't leave a note, didn't knock, didn't say a word. I just walked 2 blocks to my friend's house, where we were carpooling out of town. And as we drove off, I allowed myself one single, satisfied smile. Because I knew the moment Gary stepped outside, he'd be trapped. There was no room to back out. No way to shimmy his way free. My car was parked in tight, legal, on my own property, and fully locked. He had no key, no access, and no right to be there in the first place. The first text came around 5 p.m. "Hey man, I can't get out. Can you move your car?" Then a missed call. Then another by 7 p.m. The text got angrier. "Dude, WTF? Are you serious right now? I have plans tonight and my personal favorite. You better move this thing now or I'm calling the cops." That one made me laugh out loud. Because what would he say to the cops? "Hello, officer? I illegally parked on my neighbor's private property without permission and now I can't leave. Yeah, good luck with that, Gary." I didn't respond, didn't even open the messages. Instead, I spent the weekend in the woods, breathing fresh air, roasting marshmallows, sleeping like a baby. Meanwhile, I imagined Gary, pacing, seething, probably trying to call a tow truck which wouldn't touch my car, again, my property. Maybe trying to find a spare inch to wiggle free. But he couldn't because this time I was in control. I got back Monday around noon. As I turned onto my street, I saw Gary standing in his front yard, arms crossed, glaring at my house like it had personally insulted his mother. His SUV, still there, exactly where he left it. I pulled in, stepped out, gave him a little wave. "Morning, Gary, everything okay?" He stormed over. ULEFT, all weekend I was stuck. I shrug. "Oh, sorry, man, I thought it was just for a sec." The look on his face, pure poetry, he didn't say another word. Just stormed off, and you know what? He never parked in my driveway again. Sometimes people only understand boundaries when you build a wall they can't climb over. Or in Gary's case, a bumper they can't drive around. It wasn't about revenge, really. It was about respect, and finally, I got mine. If that story gave you the chills, or a smug little grin, smash that like button and hit subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what's the pettiest or most perfect revenge you've ever pulled off? Until next time, keep your driveways clear and your karma clean.